Have you ever noticed when the country of Africa is spoken about, the first thing associated with the nation is poverty? Me personally, I have worked with people from the country, and they have explained to me why it's so important for them to come to America to make a better life, and why it's so important for them to send money back home to help their family. My goal is to bring awareness as to why it's such a financial struggle for people to advance in this country. First, I will explain what are some of the causes for poverty, and then I'll explain what the government is doing to assist these issues. In Africa, the population is 1.33 billion. Now, of those people, 200 million are considered youth. Now, the youth I am speaking about range from the age of 15 to 24, which is one of the largest amount in the entire world. Now, many of these children are not allowed to go to school every day due to having to go into the fields and farm to help their family, go and get clean water so that they have drinking water to cook with and clean and do everything that's necessary for them. A lot of them are suffering from medical problems. That's the reason why they can't attend school on a daily basis. This alone puts a big financial burden within the entire economic system for this nation. Another issue that takes place is 3 million of these people not only are not educated, but they are not employed, and they don't obsess some type of training in order for them to go out into the job market and advance. Now, when you speak of the government in Africa, they only have limited amount of job resources for those who don't have qualifications to move up into the working world. And the main support that they offer is child and family welfare, which is not fully even established through the government. It's non-profit organizations that work together just to keep this afloat. Unfortunately, this government system is not being held accountable for their actions. They need to offer more for the people so they can advance and become better as a nation. Now, despite all of the negativity that comes from poverty in Africa, they're one of the richest countries in the world when it comes to geographical things. They have some great deserts, many seas, oceans, great plains. Most tourists go there just to see the safaris and visit all the wildlife that is not seen in any other part of the world. But one of the most important things that South Africa attains that you would not see anywhere else in the world is Nelson Mandela. He made a great impact on the African American community. He made an even bigger impact in Africa alone. He was one of the first black men to become president in this nation, something that had not been heard of for a very, very, very long time. He did many things associated with poverty and to help build this nation up so that they can become one. Now, they may not have reached their goal as to being in a financial place with everyone else in the world, but they're not as low as they once were. For instance, 59% of the youth in Africa by the year of 2030 are only supposed to be educated. But with more assistance from the government, more kids being allowed to go to school instead of being in the fields will help this average go from 59% to closer to 100%. In the end, I hope that I brought awareness to you and put a greater understanding for you about the nation of Africa and how just because they are in poverty, they are still rich as a nation in many other aspects. Thank you for your time.